Our first reading from the Book of Wisdom was written about 50 to 100 years before Christ. And it was written in Alexandria in Egypt to the Jewish community who was living in the midst of a culture of the Greek culture at that time. And if you look at, if you're listening to the words of the reading, they so much fit what happened to Jesus. The people did not like what Jesus was saying. They did not like his words. Because it says here in the first reading, they were obnoxious to them. They felt they're being judged. So it's not about the message itself, it's the impact of the message on them, how it made it feel, and that's why they decided to kill him. Again, that was written 100 years before the time of Christ. But that's true of any Christian community at any time. The church always existed in a pagan culture, in a pagan world. And a lot of people, just like at the time of Jesus, before the time of Jesus, and today, don't like the words of the truth that the church professes and proclaims. They feel judged. They feel that church is being self-righteous, that they're better than them, and that's why they would want to silence the words of truth and life. It's interesting, in the gospel, most of the people knew kind of what's going on, knew about Jesus, knew that the authorities were trying to kill him, and yet they kind of stayed on the sidelines, kind of waiting and watching to see what's going to happen, criticizing both sides. Well, the authorities are not doing anything. Maybe they're becoming his disciples. Or how could it be Jesus? He's from Nazareth, and the Messiah, nobody's supposed to know where he comes from. No one was focused on the message. It's all about those other details that really has nothing to do with what God planned for his people and for all of us. We need to be aware of these things because, like I said, we too feel sometimes you're judged because of our faith. We feel sometimes that why is God abandoning us? But God never abandoning us. In the end, yes, Jesus died on the cross, but God raised him up to glory, and through his death and resurrection, he opened the gates of heaven to all who believe in him. God will always be on our side because he is just judge, and God will judge between us and his enemies.